What's up, Inox?
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, I can hear really good, man. That phone's crazy.
Thank you, man.
can, can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you. Wait a
Awesome.
second.
Just let me pop up the volume a little bit. Yeah, there we go.
I'm not used to
Look,
this.
I mean, everybody's joining, dude. Crazy.
Yeah,
Dude, thank you so much for doing this.
no worries, man. It's a pleasure.
How are you? I haven't seen you in exactly a year, I think. Yeah, it's a year now.
I haven't been much on the social media, so been quite like disappeared.
Yeah, I saw that, but you're occupied with other things, right? You're doing other things now.
Yeah.
So what are you up to? What are you up to?
I'm creating projects with Veronica. I don't know if you know her, the robot, the dancer. And we're doing projects that are meant to be released in like a more like in let's say more like an institution. I don't know how to explain it, but all right. So it's
Like a theater or something?
yeah, it's performance art. So
Alright.
it's not really like the theater only, but like anywhere where we can make our art, right? Not only in the theater,
Yeah.
maybe also we can do it in maybe museums, different spaces like art galleries, etc., etc. And it's about like mixing other disciplines like science and philosophy. So we're
Awesome.
with dancing, mostly weaving and animation and robot.
So until now, hi, my name is Jay Smooth. What's up, JJ? So until now, so when did you start all this? Because I know during the pandemic you started traveling again to Madrid. Am I right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
started this. Oh, we were talking about like getting together and creating something that it was meaningful for us because battling and stuff, it's fine for me, but I cannot give my 100%. You know, I cannot like tell you all about me or tell you what I'm concerned about in a battle because it's not really
Dude,
the place to do that.
do you remember we talked about it? I asked you, is battling the main thing for your dad? Do you remember that?
Nah, yeah, definitely not.
And now and it's fine. It's kind of cool. Now we're finding different areas to cover them.
Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely. So we
So,
started in August. We started in August, like, but just thinking about it, and we were going to do like a theater piece of one
yeah.
hour something, and then we were like, you know what? If we want to be free and say what we want to say in any way we want to do it, we cannot just go to the theater because there's like a wall between the crowd and us, you know.
The
So we
audience and you, yeah.
destroy that wall and just perform, you know, in different forms. Can be we can maybe just start painting or doing cinema, and that will be part of our art. So we are trying not to limit ourselves with the dance either. We're trying to like reach. If we have something to say, we just have to find a way to do it, even if it's not with dance, and that will be part of the project.
It's awesome, man. It covers a lot of things that, for example, I thought with Jesse about this, like, how can we create, how can we develop this dance further, you know, to newer things? Because if
Yeah.
you keep it on the, you know what I mean, on the battle thing and we meet and join and session, which is awesome, by the way. Don't get me wrong, everybody. But covering new aspects, I feel like is amazing. And I think I saw a video of you, or Veronica, I'm not sure which one of you. It was like an AI thing and like the computer was registering your waves and shit. Am I right?
Yeah, we are working in a couple of we are doing projects of work into in different institutions with technology also and robotics. So we're
And
getting
how,
into robotics, artificial intelligence, music through body, brain waves, and you know how can I say analysis, brainwave analysis, and trying to bring all these technologies into like an artistic message. That's what
so
we're
is
trying.
this a, so is this a collaboration with a company that provides the necessary hardware, let's say?
No, it's all like public institutions, like the government institutions.
That
So
is fucking amazing.
yeah, but it's always like the main focus of our art is to mix. I mean, to work with other artists, right? We need sound artists, we need
Yes.
visual artists, we need scientists, we need philosophers, we need everything to make like a project. You know, it's not, it cannot be only about us and just like dancing, because this that has been made a lot of times already, even
Exactly.
with street dance, and we are trying to reach something else. You know, and for that we have to collaborate with philosophers, scientists, and other areas of the human thought. You know.
Yeah. And until now, how was the process of getting new people to work with you guys? How do you find them? What do you do?
I mean, we discovered with time that all it takes is to be in the right space at the right time, right? So instead of like trying to look for people online and see what works, and we think it's all about getting into the scene. You know, if we're trying to reach um, a sound artist, then we have to go and take coffee with a sound artist that introduces us to other sound artists, so we can understand how that community works, because it's all based on communities, just like popping, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
We have to get into there, and we have to like expand, and we have to be known, and we have to be like willing to get into other projects with them, and then creating projects with us, and us with them, etc., etc. It's like a collaboration all the time.
That's
But
amazing, dude.
pandemic time, you know, it's harder because you
It's a
cannot
hard
just
process. Yeah.
meet with other people, right? Not in Spain, basically. I don't know in other countries, but here it's kind of hard to even go take a coffee, right?
Yeah. But until now, is it like a let's call it like a non-profit organization thing, or because I'm imagining with these things, you can do a shitload of great movies and shit. Man, I mean, my head's just blown all the directions and everything. But yeah, you mentioned Spain. Just sorry for interrupting. You mentioned Spain. How's the situation there now?
With the pandemic, you mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You gotta talk about the fucking pandemic. You know that. I mean, it's the main thing, isn't it?
It depends on our country is not organized by a single one government. So I mean, yeah, we have one single one, like the kind of like that manages all of them, like in the
Yeah.
national part. But it's more like every part has their own rules and their own, you know, data about the pandemic. So when one city has a lot of cases, then that city is like shut down by their own small government, and the other parts maybe are not affected. Right now, I'm living between Alicante and Madrid, and
Yeah.
Alicante is being really like it's so bad right now. There's so many cases that we have a curfew at 8 p.m. And in Madrid, it's like at 10 p.m. and we cannot travel back and forth between cities. It's like
So
we
8
have
p.m. You gotta be inside. You gotta stay. You gotta be inside at 8 p.m.
what? Sorry.
You have to be inside at 8 p.m. so you can't go outside after 8 p.m. That's what you said? Yeah, because I didn't get it. That's something. Yeah?
Yeah, and you know, like all businesses close at like 5 in Alicante. Here in Madrid is more like relaxed, and so there's a little bit more freedom to do stuff. So that's why I'm here most of the times, because I mean, it's the capital, it's the big city, right?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Communities, and we can talk with other people and go to museums and etc. But overall, Spain is pretty bad. We're expecting like a total closure of all the businesses soon. Like you know, like in the beginning of the pandemic, right? Everybody home for like 4 weeks, no
Yeah.
work, nothing to do, just like stay home, stay safe.
Yeah.
It's
Man, it's really bad. That's really bad to hear that. It's really bad to hear that because,
bad.
for example, in my country, things are starting to chill a little bit. So the restaurant's kind of open. But as you said, it's in different cities. Because I was actually shocked. I went to a nearby city cruise, right? So I was going to buy something. And I was like, no, I'll just consume it here in the restaurant. She was like, no, get the hell, you crazy, get out of here, you know? It's like, whoa. In my city, it's like 100 kilometers away. It's fine, you know? Yeah, it's based on cases. Yeah, I know what you mean, because it kind of really sucks. Because, for example, this podcast things, right? I really wanted to do it in a long time, actually, and I actually got the gear and everything. But now that you got to stay inside, it's the only way that you can actually, interact with people and everything.
Yeah.
Because I really, can you repeat that?
Yeah, it's affecting art so much. Like we are we are in a time that in the books they will in the art books they will be like, okay, this was before the pandemic and it was after the pandemic, post pandemic, and it's crazy because we are seeing like a rise in this online art,
Interaction, yes, exactly.
interactions and online museums, online art galleries, and online experiences through virtual reality. So there's a lot of stuff going on that will stay forever. Actually, even once this is over,
Yeah, I know.
experiencing a change. But it's interesting. But of course, it's pretty tough for artists because, well, I think in Europe the economic how can I say it? The income through art has been down for like 90%, which is fucking crazy,
Yeah.
dude. It's like a total
I know.
crisis.
Well, they
But
basically blocked each and every platform that you could have access of income by arts. You think about it. Like the only way I can think of it is like, I don't know, paint something and just send it to somebody home, But in the beginning, even people were scared even of that. If you think about it, for dancers, it's total shit because that's what it is. And it's not that interest dropped because it didn't. If you think about it, that's why this TikTok thing and everything rose up, But it kind of shifted from doing complex art, as you said, trying to send a message through what you're doing in that video, for example, to doing something really fast and really essential. Like it has to have everything really condensed in one small, let's say 10 seconds, because there's nothing different now because you can't go and see it live, for example. Like popping, for example, if you see somebody dance live and in a video, I mean, we both know it's a difference. It's an enormous difference, Yeah.
I think the TikTok thing, it's all about. I don't think it's much about the pandemic because TikTok was before the pandemic.
Yeah, I know.
When I was in Korea, they were using TikTok for dance videos more than Instagram, anyway. So
Okay.
it's just about the people don't have the time or don't have the time span to watch more than 15 seconds. And it happens to me too. Like somebody sends me a video and it's like 3 minutes long, and I just feel like I'd rather be doing something else, than watching a 3 minutes video. Even if it's some cool art, it's like I'm used to consume fast information, which it's a coin with two sides, with two faces. For one, I mean, it's really accessible and everybody can access, and if it's something really shiny and something cool, millions of people will see it. In the other hand, we have that. Well, it's not really that interesting because most of the good art will take time to appreciate. Most of the good art will take you to like a state of patience and understanding what's the message and the meaning. So that we don't have it much now. But this has been like a I don't know how to say it, like a line, even before the pandemic, everything was like rising into that fast motion, fast videos, etc. I've not been much into like regular dancing, commercial stuff, but the other art, you still cannot find it there. Like I haven't seen anybody that is serious about art, like really serious, and I haven't seen anybody be really serious about art and asking me my Instagram. It's like, do you have a web page? Do you have a YouTube, a Vimeo? Do you have something where I can see your art? They're not gonna ask for Instagram. They're not gonna ask for TikTok. At museums, galleries, they're not gonna ask for that because there is. I mean, art is not meant to be on this media. Not the art that I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Cool videos and hey, look at this. Hey, look, da 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 da. Okay.
It's quantity over quality now. Actually, I think that's the thing. Because even think about it, even from people that actually are serious with their art, because of staying I'll give you an example. You stay for 3 months, let's say, in your house, and you see that that's the only thing that's kind of tangible right now. I mean, like the only situation that kind of works because people, that's what you do, kind of. you get into there, even though you're trying to fight it, you're gonna have the thought of, okay, let me just try this once. Do you know what I mean? Let's see that if I can, at least this is how I see it, that if I can keep on posting, putting things on, at one point it's gonna hit. And when the point is gonna hit, people are gonna get interested in me, and then they'll have the patience to wait for my art. If I post, you know what I mean? If I post afterwards something really serious.
I don't see it like that because serious artists. I mean, when I mean a serious artist, I mean like people who study arts and people who is really like committed to this. Look, for example, me, right? I'm an artist, and I have to choose, right? Either I post every day and I make people see my art, or I don't post at all. I practice on my art, I make my projects in silence, and then I release it. But the thing is, I am not interested in people watching my art because I know that the actual people who watches Instagram are not serious gallery, let's say artists or museums. Somebody that is
I know what you mean.
working in a museum to get like this talented people to show their art. They're not watching Instagram. So why am I going to focus all my work into Instagram where when the people that are interesting to me are not in this, place?
So you basically shifted your target audience, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. And so Instagram is not really now the place I want to be in because it's not where it's not where I want to go. Like being accepted with young people mainly,
basically, yeah.
into kind of like underground or commercial lives is not where I want to be because it's not where I want to go really. Like I want to go and show my art, not for everybody, because I know everybody will not understand, but like in some specific places where people maybe have studied about artificial intelligence, and there's some scientists there and some movie producers, and I want to introduce those ideas. There is where I want to be, not really here. So going back to the topic, I think serious artists that are working in art for like decades are not still switching to Instagram because the target audience is not here. The target audience is not on Instagram, not on TikTok, not on Facebook. Not even.
That's actually a good point. It's actually a good point, man. Yeah, but I feel like if you're gonna go that realm, you kind of accept. I know this is not the case for you, but I mean in general, because a lot of people are gonna watch. I think you gotta accept that you're not pushing it financially. Then it may be in the end, of course. So you may end up blown away with the art itself. Maybe it's gonna grow in value, and then you gotta manage it financially. You gotta do it well. But the process of it you don't have to think for a second that that's the purpose of it, do you? Money, I mean, of course.
So I have 12K followers, right? How much money
I believe so.
do you think I made through my years, even like traveling? How much money do you think I made with all these followers?
Well, I don't know. Usually you get the types of... Usually, right? You should get the type of sponsors and shit like that to put in your videos. You should get a type of... That's it basically. You gotta get some sponsors.
I've done that, but like how much money is that?
I would say...
I can tell you, if I'm honest, that's close to nothing. Close to nothing. We're talking about a world of art that is gonna pay you 10K for a piece, 10 minutes long.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the world. The thing is that we make the mistake of thinking that if we have a lot of followers and a lot of people that watches our art, a lot of people will be willing to buy it. In some cases, that's true. But now
most of the time, no.
The target audience that is Instagram. Are you gonna pay $200 for a 1-hour class? No.
Hell no.
Because we are young people, right? We are young people. We use Instagram. The people who really have the art knowledge and the money, like the galleries and stuff like that, they will roam around Instagram. And these are the guys that will tell you, all right, I want to do a performance, you to do a performance. about this in my art gallery, and I'm gonna pay you 10K for 15 minutes of dance. Then you see it and be like, okay, so what? Why do I need all these followers? You don't really need them, right? You don't really need them.
Exactly.
You have to make a lot of noise in the scene, right? Be it dancing, movie scene, cinema, whatever, to get money, you know. But not really. I mean, uploading a lot of videos might be good for one thing. Now that I think about it, it might be good for classes, right? I want to
Yeah.
teach and have like a regular formation of people online, maybe. And okay, this is young people that want to learn dance. They're on Instagram, so I will post a lot of videos so I can get a lot of people to my classes. But I'm not interested in teaching, for example, regularly online, because this is not what I want to make my life of. You know, it's like
Oh man, I tried it, Enoch. It's so shit, bro. It's impossible. I swear to God, it's so bad.
I'd rather just write an essay, make I don't know, a full documentary about my dance rather than just taking some people to take my classes regularly. Because I mean, this is not what I want, right? That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people they're good, like they love teaching and stuff. I love teaching too, but it's not what I want to live off from.
Yeah, but it's a different approach when you say it, for example, because I love teaching too. Because the way you teach, for example, like for people that don't know, I went to this guy, to learn from you, and the way you teach is kind of different, and it actually helped me build my approach as well in over time. Because it's what is the state that you're coming with? Like, in what state are you right now as knowledge and as a person, and in life, basically? And then we can talk a little bit, and then we can evolve together. And then I can give you steps that I maybe know. And if I don't know, I'm going to call a friend who knows, you know what I mean? So it's basically guidance more. I feel like it's basically guidance more than teaching at one point.
It's
for
guidance.
us, it was like that for us.
The thing is that it is like this for a reason. When I teach, I normally talk more than I dance, and it's because I think a good artist, a good dancer, I mean, they question a lot themselves. You know, like they have a lot of questions about themselves. They try and the only, I mean, doing the questions, asking those questions is what brings you forward. Practice is nice, like dancing a lot is nice because you get the technique and you get the mechanical, um, but I see a good artist not by the movement, but how they talk about the dance, how they talk about art, and I'd be like, that's a great artist, even though I might not be really enjoying their dance to the full potential. But when I teach, I want to create good artists that ask questions to themselves. Why do I dance? Why am I choosing waving? It's not because you like it. Of course, you like it. If not, you would not be doing that. But why you like it? Is there something in the past? Is it something in that you enjoy watching? Like, have you been born by the sea and been watching waves all your life? If so, why you like to see them? It's like asking more and more questions. What do I want to do with my dance? How do I want to be happy with it? Do I want to make other people happy also? Like all these questions, and then also asking, okay, I want to pop. Okay, how do I pop? Instead of like, okay, I want to pop. Let's ask this guy how to pop. He will tell me, and I just go with the information. No, because information and tradition after all is not good at all. Like tradition just turns off your rational thinking, right? It doesn't make you ask questions.
It makes you think that it's easier just to learn from somebody else and knowing that you hit the spots. You know what I mean? And your self ego says, okay, but I know all of them. It's fine then. Do you know what I mean? But
it doesn't work. Like for example, when I go somewhere and I ask like, okay, how do you pop, right? They tell me, oh, it has to be this way, this way, this way, and I'd be like, why? And this question of why does it have to be this way? This is what sets you free and keeps you moving forward into your art. But it is a problem. Tradition in street dance, in popping, it is a problem. History is not a problem. History is necessary. But tradition without a rational thinking, without critical thinking, is really, really bad. It's really poisonous.
I
Really
agree.
poisonous.
That's why I really stopped my bending my knees, for example. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I had to think of it. But okay, so let's get back a little bit because I don't know if everybody knows this. When did you start waving as a dance style?
I started waving a bit before I started popping. I started popping in summer 2011.
Okay.
And so I started waving some months earlier. And I started waving because I saw one video of LMFAO where the Jabberwockies appeared, and I was like, "Wow, what is this?" I mean, I've always been kind of like a dancer, I was
Yeah.
going illegally to the club with 14 years old, just to dance with girls older than me,
Same.
and do some reggaeton and like get my hips moving, of course. And I've been always kind of like rhythmic, I've always
Okay.
liked metal, hip hop. I had like a wide variety. I've always been into the rave scene with a lot of electronic music. So I've always been enjoying dance, but I thought that dancing was kind of like gay, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but like this is what I thought in the beginning when I was stupid. And so I never tried to, right? Only with women. And then I saw this guy when I was, yeah, I think I was 17, something like that. Just with the mask, he's doing like some
Yeah,
crazy.
I know, man.
And I was like, oh, what is this? Oh, this is breakdancing. And I was like, okay, this is breakdancing. Let's learn some breakdancing. I almost fucking break my head. I fucking destroy my shoulders trying to freeze and stuff. I was like, you know what? I love breakdancing, but I want to do breakdancing without going to the floor. And then I was like, does that have a name? Yes, of course it has. That's called like hip hop and popping. I didn't know shit. And so I just keep researching, and I came across Popping John. Then I came across Salah, Kite, and then I started just building my information. When I was 1 year into popping, then I met Alvaro Frankenstein, a friend from Madrid, that came to my
Okay.
and he was dancing popping for quite a longer time, and he taught me basically. I didn't ask him to teach me, but he with only dancing popping when I was only being able to like do that shit. I was learning, just by watching. After that, well, I did a lot of battles in Spain, then Europe, and then in the world. But yeah, I started in 2011 summer, so that's gonna be this summer. It will be 10 years, a decade into dancing.
That's still not a lot based on your level, bro. So congratulations for that. That's from me. That's from me, dude. Congrats. But okay, so when did you realize that? And not realize, or when did you start approaching things differently? You know what I mean? And by differently, I don't mean like because people gotta understand that it's completely. It's not completely different. I understood. Like for me, this year, for example, if I want to mention this, my dance didn't blow away, right? It didn't blow away completely, but my ideas and approach and the way I got to understand my body and calm the fuck down, and you know what I mean, and try to do stupid things that make him work. That's what pushed me this year. So I was kind of unstable mentally at a dance point because I was like, okay, but where am I gonna put this? Do you know what I mean? Because I'm used to going out with people that do the same thing and blah, blah. But then I realized that I don't need to put it anywhere, you know. So then that's the point where I just breathe a little bit, and I was like, okay, I'll just do my stuff and just see where it ends. So by that, what you do is actually you have your own knowledge, you have your ideas, and you kind of push your ideas through what you can build with. When did you realize you can do that? When did you realize, okay, if I know this thing, I can just try different approaches completely?
Hmm. Hmm. There was a point I reached because when I started dancing, the history of popping was all about the electric boogaloos invented
EBs,
in Europe, right? In Europe,
yeah,
I
in
don't
Europe, yes.
use in the US. But in Europe, it was like this. So I was doing waving, which is what I loved, but I was also doing popping, which is it was like electric boogaloo based foundation. Uh, and I was doing that, and I'm going to battles, etc., etc. And then there was a video that got into the media. There was like the truth beneath the surface, something like that. It was in Vanille.
Oh,
But
I know.
yeah, they were exposing the EBs, and they were showing these Oakland people, etc., etc. And then is where I felt like live, and I was like, okay, why I have been doing one style that it was supposed to be like the creation of everything, and there is it's not true, people liking me, and I was doing something that it was always not feeling quite right, but I was doing it because it had to be done, right,
Amen.
to be in places. And then I was like, wait, what? And I got so mad. I was like, I'm gonna learn all these new styles that I'm watching now. Like at the beginning, I was thinking, oh, G style, but G style, it's not a style, right? It's
Yeah.
But I was watching that. I was like, I want to learn that. And then I saw some guys doing robot, and I was like, okay. So this is also one of the beginnings of the popping we know today. So I want to learn that too. And then I want to learn liquid, and I want to learn shredding and Oakland Boogaloo and blah blah blah. And then I started like getting all this information and be like, okay, I don't want this to happen anymore. I don't want people to tell me what I want to do. I don't want people to tell me what I have to do to
Okay.
win battles. So you know what? Fuck it. I will do what I want, right? But this was like a process. It was not like one day, another. Okay, now I'm free. No, I met people like Eric from Germany, my brother,
Yeah.
that helped me understand concepts and base my dance around ideas, not really movements and foundations, right? Then I met Bishop, not personally,
Oh.
video, but also personally afterwards, right? And I was like, okay, waving can also be super like big, like super fluid, because I was like into this like regular waving, fast and effective, but not
It's
like
windy. It's windy in his case, isn't it? That's what you call it, wind style.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I met Slim Boogie, which has always inspired me to move different. But then I met him live, and I was like, so this is what I want to do, right? I want to be free. I don't want to ever repeat again. I don't want to repeat a move. I was always hating for some reason to repeat moves. And so I have this philosophy now that I don't want anybody to tell me what I want to do. All the information has to be, how can I say it? All the information has to be rationalized. Like I have to use reason to understand if I want that or not. Not because people tell me, oh, you have to do that. Oh, it doesn't look like popping, so blah, blah. No. I want to have my own information. I want to inform, right? I want to travel the world. I want to go to the US and see what Oakland Boogaloo is all about, right? Because it's not only about having this small information. I want to have as big as I can the information and then make my own thoughts about it. And so I learned to get information from everywhere, but adapting it to me, looking for my own roots, understanding that everybody has an opinion and you cannot just make everybody love you, of course. And I learned, I learned to be an adult, to be a grown. Yeah. Just having my thing. I got rejected so many times. I think people, when they remember, when they think about me, they think about all these battles in like Europe and Asia where I win against this and this and this, and then I make great rounds. But of course, that is like 1% of the time. 99% of the times I was losing. 50% of the times I was really losing, and I was understanding I lost because I just lost the round. And then other times I was losing because people didn't, or either they don't understand it or they don't want to do it because it's not on their agendas,
Exactly.
Like, because it's way too weird and that doesn't fit into their imagination, into their thoughts, And so, yeah.
So are you basically, from childhood, I'm asking, are you a positive kind of build-up person? Because for many people, even myself included, for the majority of people actually, When you lose a battle, it's fine. You lose the second one, it's all right. You lose the third one, it's beginning. Your mind starts asking questions to yourself. You doubt yourself. That's what it is. And then the fourth battle that you go in, you're not even doing as good as you can, because you know what I mean. You get affected in a point. So, are you a really positive guy? You meditate, or you're just how? That's the question, basically. So,
All right. I've always been into sports. I mean, I was playing basketball for a while in a quite like a kind of professional way, like super strong. I went
karate
into
as well, right?
yeah, no, ninjutsu.
Ah, it's okay.
Martial arts. I went into esports. You know, I played Dota 2, and getting money from playing video games. And I've always had this competitive mindset, right? And I've always had this like, you just have, yeah, you will lose a lot of battles, but that's the game. And after all, if you lose a battle and you feel bad, you're not feeling bad because you lost. You feel bad because they didn't accept you. That's the thing. Because losing, when you have the right mindset, it's just a step forward, right? It's just a step forward. I mean, the only step back is not trying to do your best. It's not trying to be yourself. And
Yeah.
I had a time where I was battling for the people to recognize me as a good dancer, right? I was going into battles and I was expecting people to respect me, right? But then I realized if I'm basing my happiness on the acceptance of others, I will always be chasing somebody else's love, not my love. And so I started switching like, okay, why I got pain for losing? I've never got that. Even when I was playing basketball or competing on video games, why is this now happening? Because I was needing for approval. And that is something you have to avoid. So I was slowly, because people think it's like, I'm gonna do what I want. No, it's not like that, right? We have years and years of
Yeah.
thinking, going to bed and be like, why am I getting nervous in these situations? Why am I mad that I didn't make it through prelims? And then you start working and be like, all right, I dance and battles are just a small part. I'm gonna do what I love. I'm gonna try to reach my next level all of the time without needing anybody else to love me. And after that, it's not that people start to love you, right? It's that you start loving yourself and you start having the confidence. And no matter what you do, people feel that confidence and they feel that art, that artistic mindset, and now they recognize you, right? But when they recognize you, it's too late because you don't care about them anymore. Right?
Exactly.
So it is very important to say that I wasn't born into like fuck their opinions. I will do what I want. I'm not a special case, right? I'm not like a talented, don't give a fuck. Yes, I've always been kind of like independent, but in the dance, I was needing some recognition. It got to the point of I was getting into this mindset slowly, and then I got to summer dance, and I won these battles, and I got to the battle with Juan, and then I got again like this fall into thinking, okay, now I have to perform good because I'm Inox, and I have to because well, I did this, I went against Juan, now I cannot lose against anybody, right? Like now I'm elite.
Yeah, world class, yeah.
And then I started going into depression because I wasn't finding myself. Of course, I forgot about who I was. And then I had to again climb, the ladder and be like, okay, their opinion is it's not that important. You have to love yourself. You have to experience every battle. You have to experience things as if it's the last time you do them in your life. You have to reach your fears. You have to jump into the abyss to have fun, to learn. So all this, other people's ideas about you, they just I mean, they start to fade away, into your from your way. So
Mm.
yeah, that what happened. Like I wasn't born thinking, "Fuck it, I'll just do my shit." No, I learned the hard stuff. Yeah, I learned through some tough shit.
It's
Some tough.
interesting that you bring that up, man, because I was thinking, I had these thoughts, as you said right now, especially this year, right? And I reached a point and I was like, what the hell happened? Like, I'm not performing the same. I feel like I'm shit. You know what I mean? You get these thoughts and then you get thoughts and thoughts and thoughts. So I was thinking, okay, what was I doing differently back then? Because something had to be differently. Because, like, for my taste and the way I want to reach my movement through music, that was really good. That I like that. I like what I was doing. Do you know what I mean? So I reached that point that I love what I was sending. And I was thinking, why it doesn't work? Like there has to be something different. And I was panicking, blah blah. And you reach points when you're thinking like, I'll just leave dance altogether and shit. And then I realized at one point when I calmed myself down, and I'm living by that now. I'm trying to like starting this year and a lot of time. This is the main thing for me. I realized I was happy back then. So I was completely, absolutely happy. Like when I started the music, I liked that song. Do you know what I mean? I liked the way I was dressed. I liked where I was. I liked what I was doing. I liked my job. I liked shit like that. So each time I get those type of thoughts, for example, like you said, for me, what helps is to find what's changed. Do you know what I mean? Something is influencing me now negatively. Something's happening, but sometimes the subconscious sends those messages. It's not like you knowingly know them. Do you know what I mean? As you said, I had to ask a lot of questions to actually get around that. So I think it's what I talked to Jesse as well about this, because you gotta really shred your ego at one point, don't you?
What? Sorry.
You really gotta shred the ego at one point, don't you?
What I had to do it was switching my ego from being a bad thing to a driving force. I feel like you can have a big ego, right? But if you don't use it to push people down and yourself up, then it's nothing bad, right? For me, I think I have a big ego, but it's just to tell me, hey, bro, like I don't call myself bro, but like, okay,
No,
yo, you're doing good. Yo, you're doing the stuff you want to do, and if you don't want to, you just have to think about it and change it, right? So my ego is my confidence, but I understand that the word ego means bad things. For me, it's not really bad. It's only bad when you use it to push people down, yeah, and yourself up. Be like, I'm Inox and you're nobody, right?
yeah,
I'm Inox and you are Raul.
yeah, and that's it.
Like, my ego doesn't affect others, and so I don't think it's a negative thing. But yeah, that's the thing. I think the more you dance. Right, sorry about the ambulance.
No, it's alright. It's gonna pass around.
I'm just like right in the middle of the city. Just going like there. Okay. Um, what I think is that with time, the more you grow into the dance, you start you start understanding your ego, the picture you have about yourself, and try to be as try to make it as a positive force. So
Yeah,
this is what Jesse you were talking about, like shrinking the ego.
yeah,
I'd rather have it like make it higher, but like bringing
yeah.
others with you and like affecting it in a good way, affecting the world into a good way. When people ask me, so are you a good waver? Are you a good popper? I say yes, I'm good. But I don't use it to be like, but you're not that good, like I
Yeah,
need to pull people down, and me up. That's the thing. I think it's very important to be like, yes,
it's
I am this.
it's essential. It's essential to have that. You need a little bit of ego because otherwise, I tested on myself, and everybody can really see this. You can't perform if you're underdogging yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the moment I dub myself, and that happens a lot. Actually, I had to, as you said, train it. It was actually help of you, JJ, a lot of people that actually I talked about, that actually helped me to work out with that a little bit. Because you need a little bit of ego. Like I need to know that I worked for this, what I did as until now. It's cool. I like it. Just gotta show it, and whatever happens, is gonna happen. You know. So it's essential to have a little bit of it.
It's also very important to see that, for example, if I made all this stuff, if I traveled the world, it is only a small part. It is hard work, because then you have all the other things that are not taken account of. For example, to be in summer dance, right, and making all the battles, well, I had to be good. You know, I mean, I wasn't ill. My opponents didn't perform as well, you know, as me. But they could have done way better than me, anyway.
Yeah.
I like the music. You know, like there's so many conditions that are met. We are not taking into account. For me, when I say that, when people tell me, "Oh, but you're like quite known and famous," it's not only because I worked. That is only a very small part. The thing is that if I'm this, it's because I was in the right place, at the right time, and I had all the conditions meeting, you know, like to make it like a good experience. All the works I had, all the battles I did, all the judge demos that are like positive is because I had the right conditions. Yeah. But
That's
people
true.
work as hard as me, but they don't have the same opportunities, right?
I
So
agree with that.
when you understand this, there's no ego. You know, it's like I'm here not because I'm the best hard worker, it's because, well, some conditions were met. Some judges
Yeah.
liked what I did, and that brought me here. But the only smart part is hard work.
It's a number of different factors. Yeah.
Uh, uh, how do you say when somebody has fame, when they made it?
Accomplished.
Yeah, when people accomplish things, right? They
Yeah.
say, "Oh, I worked really hard. I deserve this." It's like, well, yes, in part, yeah. But what about all these other conditions? Yeah.
Yeah. There are a lot of factors. Yeah.
Like the world records in running, you know, in sprinting. They always say, I work really hard. They never say, "Oh, I had the wind in my back and that was pushing me forward more than the other guy." Because this is not what, you know, we didn't work with this, so we don't take it into account. But it's really important that when you see somebody that made it, right, and they are talking like you have to work hard, you cannot forget that it's not only good like hard work. There's a lot of people working harder than you, but they just don't have the same opportunities. I met a lot of people in Vietnam, in India, that are amazing. They work much harder than me, and they will never have the same opportunities as me, because I'm European. I can access to other countries and battles without a visa.
With no visa. You lucky son of a bitch. With no visa. Yeah.
So you have to
Yes.
understand. Like I tell to myself, you are Inox because you have the right conditions that were met, and now you're here. But some other people deserve it even more than you. Just didn't. They didn't have the opportunities. So with this, there's no ego possible. It's like I'm better than anybody. I had some luck. That's it. That's the truth.
It's a good thing that it's actually great that you said that, man, because you got to think about the background of the person that you're looking up to.
Yeah.
There's such a small line between admiring and respecting the guy's work in him and copying him. Do you know what I mean? It's so bloody small, you can't even believe it. You know what I mean? And you don't even realize it. Because you don't, for example, for me, and everybody copied at one point, as you said, biting being the word. You don't even, first of all, you don't realize you're doing it. And second of all, you don't even realize that guy is going to keep on improving. You're not going to be the next new dog that's going to come to bite him or something like that. You know what I mean? He's always going to work. If it's so, what I learned, especially from you, and that's actually amazing for my life, I guess, is not to compare with people. Even though I knew it, don't get me wrong, I knew those things. But it's kind of better to talk with somebody on the same, mindset and vibe and open-minded. To say, dude, I know their basic stuff, but they just work. You gotta just go with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't get. Yeah.
For me, the line. I mean, I think the more you are into dancing, the more you can get inspired and not copy, and not fight. Because, for example, when I was starting to dance, I needed that, how can I say it, like that technique and that movement. So I was watching all the videos, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do that, see what happened. And then of course I was biting, right? But after some time, it's like what the way I see, for example, imagine, right? I go
Yeah.
into the, which is not something that happens all the time. I watch a video from Slim Boogie, right? I watch it as that's amazing. I don't analyze it. I don't ever analyze shit. I'm not like, how did he do that? How, blah, blah, no. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. He's being himself. I'm reminding myself that I have to be myself. That is the way I get inspired by people. This is why I don't look like anybody. It's because the way I get inspired is not on the movement, it's on the way of thinking, right? If Bishop inspires me, it's not because he's gonna do all this stuff and I'm gonna try to imitate it because that feels maybe great. It's because, okay, that guy came to that point where he found himself, that is affecting me to get to my own point and finding myself and being happy with it. This is the way I get inspired by people. When I tell people I get inspired by you, is like I like your mindset, I like your thought process, I like your freedom, and that inspires me to look for my own happiness, you know, and freedom and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That that is the most important thing. I don't use I don't use inspiration as a way to understand movement. I don't. I don't think it's good.
Yeah, because yeah,
Yeah.
I was actually waiting for this. I want to talk about it, cover this a little bit with you more. So, for you, basically, the way things work, right, is intention before movement. First of all, as far as I understood, I'm just trying. You know, you're gonna expand afterwards. Or at least that's what I got from it, and that's what got me better, I would say. So it's intention before movement. That is first of all, right? So what is like my ideas right now when I'm seeing somebody dance is I just changed the question to what is he thinking, or what is he seeing, or what is he being right now? You know, what is he right now, kind of, because I'm expecting that the so for example, let's break it down a little bit. So what is the concept for you as a general statement, if you have to describe it short?
What is a concept?
Yeah.
Okay, a concept is an idea. That's it.
Okay. I know you. I told her this was gonna be short. I knew it. Okay. Very well.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to I don't want to play around because for me a concept is an idea. Let's say I have the concept of moving forward. Is that a concept? Yes. Yes.
Yes.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe it's
creating a universe that goes into a black hole. Is that a concept? Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, for example, you can. It is true actually. The concept, for example, this round is popping, and I actually tried saying this, and so,
no. Because I'm not understanding. Okay, so when I think about pop, right, you think about a technique, but a technique is just the physical representation of a concept. That's it. The technique is the tool you create to make physical your thoughts. For example, let's say if I pop, it's not because I want to pop, it's because I want to explode. It's because I want to make like a popcorn, or maybe it's because I want to make like a robot that is really heavy, boom, and it's initiating, right?
Or bombs,
That is the concept. But I don't think about the pop, I don't think about the waves as a concept, right? I think about, for example, the pop as a tool to bring a concept alive. So I normally I'm not like, all right, I'm gonna do pop. No, because that's not really a concept in itself, it's a technique. So I want to explode. The way I will reach this explosion will be through this technique, right? This is very important. This is very, very important. This is very important. Wait,
it is.
People is writing. I thought like, oh, nobody's writing. Yeah.
Me neither. Wait, man. I didn't check the comments. I'm sorry, everybody. Love from India. Love to you, my friend. Wait, let's go a little bit lower. So we got Amin. He was in the bus. The boy's back. Welcome back, man. It's also important.
Every time I listen to you and I speak with you, I learn a lot to grow up and to think about dance. Thank you, Inox. Gracias, Stupid. Placer, bro, siempre.
Gracias. Gracias, tío. I got a question how you create your own style. Well, you gotta check the live again after save it because we talked about that basically. The boy covered all of it, how to create your own style. That was the main thing actually. Yeah, well, we covered it.
About the concept.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just plain definitions. This is for me, right? This is not like universal. This is just helping my own dance, right? When I teach it because it might help somebody. But this is not.
So you teach that. So you teach dance as a concept.
I teach. What do you mean? Teach as a concept?
When you teach, do you teach conceptually or you teach technically? That's what I'm asking.
Well, isn't it the same? I mean,
no, I don't think. I don't know.
I teach the concept behind things, and I make people create tools to make that concept come alive.
There we go. Okay.
The process of creating that alive is the technique, right?
Yeah.
So when I teach conceptually, I teach about concepts. They are creating their own tools, and so they are doing technique actually. I don't teach, for example, okay, let's do the Fresno, and go side to side.
Yeah.
No, I might tell them, okay, let's try to go with the concept that we have to go from one side to another side, and every time we touch one side, we explode. And that makes them think, all right, I'm going to go one place, boom, I'm going to explode. Boom. I'm going to go next, boom, I'm going to explode. That is how I teach. And by that, what I'm creating and what I'm trying to do is I don't want to teach you by tradition because that's not making you think. Popping and the word pop is just a tradition. It doesn't exist if you think about it. It's just it's just an idea that everybody has, a community has, and that creates a reality. But it's not real. It's just an idea. That's it. That's just the point. So for me, I find no point on teaching techniques because a technique is just a tool to create a concept. But if you don't have the concept, why are you using that technique? What are you doing with it? When I teach, you have to bam, 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 bam. No, I'd be like, okay, imagine water, how it moves. Now try to move your body with this water or with this fluid body. Let's see what happens. And then they, without even watching me, they start creating these patterns, and then I tell them, okay, let's try to isolate it more. Let's try to create more detail. Imagine the wave is smaller and more crisp, right? And then they start creating their own things. So technique arises, from the idea. That is how I do things.
And technique gets better over time. I feel like people stress too much on technique in the beginning, especially when they start dancing, which I did myself actually. I feel like technique gets by itself and it gets better over time once you have the idea in your head of what you do. Yeah, that's what I say, because I felt like in the beginning everybody stresses too much on technique. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Training is not a bad thing, not at all. You prepare your body for things, and it's not time wasted by any means. But there's just so much you can train as a time frame, for example. And once you push that to, for example, we talked about people training for like 6 hours and shit like that, 8 hours, 10 hours, and okay, I actually talked with somebody about this. I can actually get your opinion on this, right?
Yeah.
When does this, let's stay with popping because that's what we are based in broader form. When does this become a professional activity at its best? The question arose from, for example, I had comparisons, right? Comparisons between sportsmen that usually train, let's say, 10 hours a day, sleep 10 hours a day on the schedule, eat the right food, get the right, nutrition in your body. So how essential is that for us to develop our dance or what we do as an activity, as an art form, to the next level?
That depends on your own objective.
Well, we can think about it objective, for example, like what's going on right now with the B-boy thing, with Red Bull making it, because it became now, help me out with this, Olympic sport, yeah, sorry. I was liking it. Yeah. So maybe you never know. Maybe because the idea wasn't like this with b-boying in the beginning, right? So and now it's a thing. Maybe in 10, 20 years this is gonna happen. So
Mhm.
when this happens, when this happens, that's the question. Actually, I'm gonna stop there. I'm listening.
Um, I don't see popping being a sport soon, but okay. For me, popping is already a sport and it's a game, a sportive game. When you dance in front of another people, of another dancer, and you are competing to win. That for me is kind of like a sport. That's it. Like you have rules, you have a game that everybody knows and play by the rules, and then you're trying to win, which to me, well, that's basically sportive, right? I
Yes.
mean, I don't know what else. Maybe it has to be like a worldwide institution saying that's a sport, but I see it as a sport, right?
Yeah.
Um, so when we think about conditioning your body and training for so many hours, we have to think, okay, so what is your objective with the dance? Yeah. If your objective with dance is to have this popping as a sport, for example, yeah, I want to
Yeah.
battle on the world. Well, if you want to do that, and you have to make sure this is what you want to because you really want to, not because it's what you have to do, which is the toughest part, right? When you think about this, you'd be like, all right, so to endure many rounds, I do have to have a body condition that is, meets the criteria, right? I have to be strong. I have to be fast. I have to have a lot of cardio. All right. So you start practicing. If you're not interested in sports like the battles, then you don't need it, right? And for example, me, I condition my body just because I want to look good.
Fair
I want
enough.
to dance better because I know the my artistic practice is not based on cardio, is not based on being better than the other one, and so uh, I recommend practicing 8 hours a day if you're gonna do what you want to do, and this is battles. I don't recommend it if you have no intention of going for so many rounds. That's just taking away from your art process. This is
Yeah.
what I this is what I think. So it's all about what you want to do with it. You know,
It's a good call. Actually, it's a good call.
I don't even practice 10 minutes a day. I just like some days I practice 20 minutes. Other days I just game all night. Some days I just read something. Some days I just watch documentaries about art, about science, about whatever that informs my art. That is part of my artistic practice. And that is important. More so
Yeah, it
even
is.
for me than the body condition because my objective is not to do the dance as a sport. It's to the dance as an art form that is meaningful, that has meaning, that has intention, that has an idea.
Impact.
Yeah,
Impact. Yeah.
that's an impact.
Yeah, it's actually a good point.
No, I
Great
have
call.
there's a lot of message in Spanish. When you want to find the concepts that you transmit, being feelings, ideas, whatever, can you tell us a little bit about your process to listen to yourself and localize those concepts? That's
Do you want to
interesting.
cover that? You want to cover that?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
let's go. Let's go,
So
bro.
what I do is every time I'm going to dance. Okay, imagine this, right? Imagine you are standing in front of a cliff, right? It's
Yeah.
a big ass cliff. You see nothing below. It's so deep that it's just darkness, right? It's fucking scary, right?
Yeah.
You either make a plan to go down, being really careful, being really like like well prepared and everything, thinking about stuff, getting ready, like have some ropes, whatever. Or you can just be like, I'm just gonna jump, and you just jump without
Take a
expecting.
chance.
Of course, this is not real life. Of course, if you jump like that, you will kill yourself. But this is artistic practice. So, in this artistic practice, it is important to kill yourself. Really, it is important to kill yourself because then you destroy your ideas about yourself. When you destroy your ideas about yourself, you find your real self. No, we have an idea of who we are, which is absolutely false because, well, it's what we are taught to be, right? I'm this and this and this, but it's because my environment made me be like this. But who am I really? What are my interests? This I can only discover if I kill myself artistically. The way to kill yourself artistically, one way, right? Don't suicide.
Don't jump, everybody. Don't jump in the damn cave. Don't
You
jump.
can only jump one without fire to think about
Yeah.
it. This trick can only be performed one time. So, so the thing is that you are gonna try to jump and make mistakes, fail. Every time you fail, you take something out from your not really self and you discover who you really are. Yeah, you dive deep into that darkness, you dive deep into that hole, and you start discovering who you are. Yeah, you hit the ground, feel yourself, and then just go up and just do the same process again and again. With this information, okay, what I do is every time I'm going to dance, I fall completely into it. I just listen to music. I have no expectation of what's going to happen.
Okay.
Nothing. I have no idea before of what I'm going to do. I'm not like, okay, now I'm going to do waving. No, I'm like there, and then I just fall into it and be like, I'm going to wave, right? When I'm going to wave, I'm just going to have this state of meditation, which is that ideas are flowing, right? And I'm just taking the first one that comes to my mind, and then the second one, right? Or maybe I'm just getting that one and I'm experiencing it fully. For example, let's say I listen to the music and I feel like floaty, right?
Yeah.
I might just think, I don't want to be floaty. Maybe I should do the robot because these people expect me to do the robot, or because I would just talking about robot, right? But this is not your true self. It's yourself based on expectations from other people.
That happened to me. Yeah.
So I start floating, and then in my mind comes to the idea, of a jellyfish. What am I gonna do? I can either analyze it and be like, is that a good idea? Is that a good concept that I want to do? Or I just fall into it. Of course, I just fall into it. Yeah, I have this idea because there is no bad concept. There is no bad idea. There is no bad feeling. The only bad concept is the concept that you don't trust. Any concept is good. That's super important to understand.
That's the actual meaning of go with the flow.
Yeah.
That's what I got. Yeah.
Just fall into it. What I do is I just fall into it. I just move. Of course, I have my brain processing all these ideas, and trying to understand music. It's not like I just fall into it and I just don't pay attention. Of course, my body and my mind are working all the time to see how my body moves. So next time I can move it better, because this way I will enjoy more the dance. And I try to make mistakes. What I will never do, well, I will never do a jellyfish that looks like a rock. Let's just do it. It's a
Yeah, I know what you mean.
unreal thought, yeah? But you don't have to understand it. I have to understand it. I have to perform it because it's what I was feeling. You take the first thing, even if it's stupid, and you go with it. Yeah? You experience it to their full potential. When you don't feel like you don't want to do it anymore, you stop. And that's it. Yeah, that's your round. Or maybe you feel like, this concept is no longer feeling that cool. Mention, is this jellyfish.
Yeah, I know.
I'm feeling more like a rock in space, yeah? And then you start transforming it and you start making it like float, maybe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Will it look good? Well, most of the times, no, because it's not perfect. But this is the good thing. It's not perfect, and so this imperfection is your true self. Is the self that is not expecting things to be perfect, is expecting things to be.
Yeah.
And That is so important. So my process is this: go into the dance, fall for it, take anything that happens into your mind. In your mind, the first thing, go with it, trust it, work it. Don't overthink it. Just do it, move it. Once you feel like you don't want to do it anymore, just don't do it. That's it. And another thing is that I never get a concept and repeat it again and again and again until it transforms into a move. I never do that. I know some people have moves, but for
Yeah.
me this is the way, because if I have to define my dance, it will be ephemeral. It happens and it never happens again, and that's the beauty of it, right? It's like a comet into the sky that you will never ever see again in your lifetime, and that is what holds beauty to me, right?
Yeah,
So
but people, when people think about this, like to do something and never repeat it again, uh, I mean, what you mean by this is basically I do something that my idea gave me, the idea that I got. I do it to the point it actually looks the way I want it to look, or I see it to look. So that is repetition in its way. That's the first stage of repetition in its way. Then once I got it, it's gonna be in the body anyways, because it's a muscle memory. So you don't really gotta think about it again.
that is
Because
not quite true, because there's no such thing as body memory. That's just like,
muscle memory, yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's in your mind anyway. So it's not like you have to be like, oh, but now it's in my body, I cannot do nothing about it. No, no, no. You can still manage it, right? Imagine, let's say that I have a concept that I really enjoy. Let's say I have a concept of how do you know when the water a waterfall? Yeah. How do you know when a waterfall? Yeah, what English?
Yeah.
That's English.
Yeah.
Let's say I have like this waterfall idea, right? That it crashes into the river, and it creates this like steam, right?
Yeah, I know.
Like, all right, boom, boom, yeah, and it breaks. It looks good. To me, it looked good, right? It looked into how I want it to look. Will I ever do that again? No, definitely not, because that defeats the whole purpose of my dance, which is to be ephemeral. It will never happen again. Even if it's some sick ass move, I will not do it again, because I don't have to do it to like anybody. And once I did it, I don't get information from it. Once I've done this move once to the way I want to, what's the point? Am I learning something new? Am I failing? No. Now that I have my move and that I'm making it again and again, I'm not trying to fail anymore. I'm trying to do it good, and that just defeats the whole purpose of that concept, of that mindset, So what I do is, I have this idea, and it's gone. If I want to do it again, probably will be different, Yeah,
go with two hands or something. Yeah.
Two hands. But this concept probably will not repeat in a long, long time. Once I repeat it, it will be super different by that time, right?
That's actually kind of the complete opposite of the general approach
Yes.
to dance itself. Because most of everybody actually does it. I'll do this until it looks how in my head it should look, and then when it looks like that, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna show everybody. I'm gonna kill everybody with it. So that is yeah.
But the thing is that your idea of what a thing has to look like is always fake. Let's say that I want a move to look a certain way. You are not a static being. Like your being, your consciousness is always dynamic. Yeah, it's always changing. So it's like memory. Memories, even though you think they are super bright and they look always the same, they're mostly inventions of your brain to make you think you live that thing in that way, which is not true. Yeah. So for example, let's say I have one idea. Yeah, I want to make. Let's do one simple thing for people to understand. I want the wave to travel this way, and when it stops, and then it goes again, right? I can be like, okay, that's very simple. I want to do it until it's perfect effect. What is perfection? When I do it again, when do I know when to stop practicing it? Because my brain will be...
It's gonna change over time, yeah.
Just continue doing it. Continue doing it because you need more work. You need more work. And that, for me, that just defeats everything, right? So what I do is, I know people, for example, people in my crew, yeah, in weight gang, they have either you call it tricks or you call it moves or you call it sets.
Sets, yeah.
Set. I know other waivers do it, but to me, it's not beautiful. For me, beauty, in my understanding, is something that comes and it has no intention of staying forever. You know, when people say,
That's a new
"Hey,
one.
you love and let it go," this is what I feel about dance. I love it so much that I have no intention to grab it. I just appreciate it until it's gone. And when it's gone, I have the good memory and the information of how to do it and how beautiful it looked, and that's it. This is what I feel, right? So I will
Yeah.
never repeat that again. I might have like this movement that kind of looks like that, but I'm pretty sure the concept will never be the same.
Yeah, that was my next question actually. I wanted to ask you. Do you have situations when you have two different concepts, for example, and they end up manifesting like with your movement, with the same movement?
Yes, it can happen. The thing is that as a human being, you are limited to, of course, your body.
Yeah.
And I cannot change my body. My body is what it is, right? And so I have a set limitations, yeah, or possibilities. Okay, these possibilities are so ridiculously high, like the chances of repeating a move is very, very, very slim, like almost zero, because there's so many combinations possible. But we in our brains we create a pattern, yeah, it kind of looks like, yeah, we create like this geometric visual,
Understanding, yeah.
yeah. But I say, okay, I never repeat the move, even if the concept is, I mean, two concepts with one move that looks like, it's still not one move. It might look like, yeah, but
Hmm.
it's impossible for me to repeat it because I'm aware of my endless possibilities in my body, almost endless. So it happened, yeah. For example, let's say I create this jellyfish, yeah, and I
Yeah.
wanna create now, let's say, a paper, yeah, floating up because of hot steam, right? It kind of looks like, but the idea behind it is not the same. So
Yeah, and it's gonna take you to different path afterwards once you
yeah,
continue the story. Yeah,
the
exactly.
texture is different, the feeling is different, what's happening is different. And so this is why if it's not the exact move, I don't really care. Like it was a different idea. Yeah, it might look like, of course, because I have a body. If I want to create a wave, and now like a sea wave, and now I want to create, let's say, an acid wave, it might
Hmm.
look like the same, but the idea behind it is different.
It's different. Yeah.
Is different. And
Yeah,
I'm
because you said it's really good because you have one body and your body can do as much as it can do, and that's it basically. You can push it to a certain limit. So I was thinking about that, for example, right? And it correlates with the previous question that we had about sports and evolving these things. So let's say, for example, that AI, I know it's already started to do this, but let's say take even further, like in one point of time, let's say 10, 15, fucking 50 years, doesn't matter, AI will get to a point that they can think and get ideas as much as humans do. So that's one part of the question. And the second part of the question, being an AI, it's a robotic, constructed, easily manipulated, and able to grow, for different purposes at any point in time. Is that the future of taking this further? Because if you put it on paper, it should be able to take it further than a human, because the human body, as you said, there's only one limit that it can do. What do you think?
So I think for me, my philosophy is in this topics is transhumanism. Transhumanism is the thought that machines will eventually have bigger abilities than us, right? I, for me, think that the future of humanity belongs being part mechanic and part organic, right? I see myself being really old and have maybe like a robotic ear that can listen to things because I lost my earring, my
Or an arm. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, or an arm. We already have cyborgs in our world. We already have people with robotic arms. Yeah, it is not going to be long until we find that there's like this small piece in your brain that makes you function better. In that
Hmm.
point, you will be a superhuman. I feel like the future of humanity belongs there. We do have to be part machine, part human if we want to keep evolving. Yeah, I do think that. So for me, it's not a problem. Yes, AI will be better than us at almost everything. Yeah,
Yes.
but why? I mean, why is that important? How does that affect the art? I mean, for example, I know I'm an artist because I want to do art. And AI nowadays they don't want to do art.
The program too. Yeah.
They're programmed to. So an artist wants to, yeah. An artist feels like it has to, because he wants to, but it's not programmed to. Yeah, that's for
Yeah.
me an artist. So an AI nowadays is not an artist. The artist is the guy behind creating all these algorithms to make the machine do certain things. That is the artist for me.
Yeah, but consciousness allows us to actually have that desire, doesn't it?
We don't really know what consciousness is right
I
now.
was getting to that. I was getting to that because if we realize what conscious is,
We don't
then maybe
really.
if you put it there, we don't really know what it comes, how it even works. We don't even know, to be
Yeah.
honest, right?
So, I mean, I understand this idea of, hey, once the machines have a consciousness and they want to create art, they
It's
will
not mine, by the way.
they will be better than us. And I'm like, well, yes, that's the whole purpose. Yeah, we create machines because we want to live more, because we want to create
Evolve.
are better than us. And that is not bad. People have children. Hey, bro, there's people having children. Like, when you think about it, isn't it the same as having machines that are better than us? Yes, of course. You're creating a descendant, of humanity.
Yeah.
Me, I understand this fear, but this fear comes from being in a position of power all the time. Yeah, who is the most intelligent being in the earth? Humans. Who are
Humans.
humans? So we are used to be like, we are the rulers. Yeah, we are the artists. We cannot foresee a machine being better than us because we are used to being the best ones. So we have to just accept that our creations will be better than us, and we better, if you want to live with that, be part of them and then part of us, and
Yeah.
create a super society, yeah, that can take us to another galaxy, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I think about that. I think about this. So, for example, I don't have a problem with an AI being a ruler of the world if that's gonna bring happiness. I don't have a problem with an AI making better art and better dance than me because, first of all, I'm not competing with anybody, much less a machine. And second of all, I'm happy to be part of the inspiration of a machine, of a being. At that time when the machine has a consciousness, that being, it's a
Yeah.
being.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a good point. I feel like people are kind of afraid of working. The idea, the concept of working with a machine side by side, they forget that that's for a better purpose. For a greater good. But you're already doing it. We have fucking cyborgs with phones, and look at this thing. It's active. You know what I mean? Like, it works. It's on my wrist all the time. You know what I mean?
You have all the knowledge in the palm of your hand. All the knowledge.
Exactly.
Yes. When
Yeah.
you're a cyborg, you're already working with the machine. But we are not ready to accept that a machine can take our artistic work and make it way more interesting, for artists, even dancers.
Yeah.
Of course, you have a body, but the machine has no body, so it is limitless when it wants to move.
Exactly. Or even if you don't go that far, imagine just getting new technologies that would allow you to perform longer, better, without injury, without needing to stretch that much, without really need to develop. You can think like advancement. It doesn't have to be necessarily technological. Think about steroids.
So
Do you know
what?
what I mean? I'll give an example, right? Along history, if you think about steroids, anabolic steroids, for example, right? That was the new thing that made a guy looking from, I don't know, a little kitty to a tiger
Yeah,
in a short amount of time. So it's an enhancement. People accepted it. Okay, it was bad, it was banned. We already know everybody uses it. Now it's fine. Now it's the next thing that we're afraid of.
yeah.
But it's an enhancement. Glasses doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be technological that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we need technology. That's the thing. I mean, people want to cure cancer. People want to have all this medicine, and but they're not ready to accept a machine being their ruler. So it's like either you want progress or you don't want any progress. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like
Want it or not is to be part of an intelligent artificial intelligence. For me, this is my point of view.
yeah. But I'm talking about my point of view as well. The debate of a society conducted by machines, I feel like it was the best for me. For example, it was the best represented when Mercedes-Benz. They said that if all the cars in traffic would not be driven by humans, there won't be any accidents. The only accidents that would be possible would be, I don't know, storms that actually lift up the car or some shit. Of course, natural causes. And then you think about it and you're like, yeah, for example, for me, right? I love to drive.
Yeah.
But would I leave that aside for a second to save, I don't know, fucking 3,000 lives
Yeah.
a day?
Yeah.
Only in Europe, for example. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like there's going to be a point where people will have to decide on those things. And I don't see why you should fight with it. Because it's going on right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's just the next step. This is like everybody who's studying like the future and how it's going to affect the AI. Think that we will reach the point where the AI is more intelligent than us in a generic way. Like it drives better, yeah, or it already drives better, But like can talk to you and feel what you're saying. No, because they don't have the emotional intelligence. But one time, there will be a time when they will be able to. At the moment, we have to get to be ready. To be ready. I feel like there will come an era of racism against machines. The race of the machines.
Yeah.
And people will be racist because they are not humans. Same we thought about black people like not long ago. Like it's and the woman. It's being repeated again and again.
Yeah, history repeats itself.
Power. They think they should remain in power forever and not share with anybody. And this is just doomed. Like this is our doom. That's for sure. That's for sure. So
it's absolutely true.
See a future with artificial intelligent life forms creating art. Me myself, I'm working with Veronica in some projects that are dealing with artificial intelligence, creating pens.
Yes. Can you give me an example of that? If that's not too much to ask.
Like, what do you mean?
An example of a project that you work with alongside Veronica and the computer, or what it is, helps you. How do you use it in that way?
There's a lot of this because it's like many pages of experimentation. But like, there's one point that I really like is that imagine me and Veronica, we are dancing at the same time, right?
Yeah.
One side and me in another side. We're just doing our stuff. An intelligent artificial intelligence observes both dancers and is able to create a 3D representation of a dancer that is like a chimera, like a mix between Veronica and me. Let's say that I'm doing this, right? And Veronica is doing this. So the machine is working to create a mixture that looks humanly possible. So it will be like, changing the angles, trying to find the bridge. So the artificial intelligence, it is not designed to do that. Yeah, it's programmed. It's not an artist. But the picture, once it's thrown into the projection, and we see me and Veronica as artists, we see our connections that we didn't think were possible. Yeah, the machine is telling us that there are more combinations that we could be doing. And we are able to think limitlessly, yeah? But the interesting part is this, because, this is just technology. But now, once I'm watching this representation of me and her together into one dancer, now I'm getting inspired by that dancer. which is not a dancer. It's an image. It's only an image. So I get inspired by that, and because I'm getting inspired by that,
I evolve.
it's changing also that picture, and it's created like a circle of inspiration. So
Constant, yeah.
I am using technology to get inspired from the best person who I can get inspired by, which is myself. And that is really important. For example, let's say you have another project. Yeah, we do have another project. We have a lot of this, but like one of them is you have your phone, yeah, and some days is dance in front of the phone.
Camera, yeah.
What does is it understands your movement. Yeah, you are teaching that artificial intelligence to dance. Yeah, you are teaching through moving how a machine can move. The thing is that after a while, yeah, the more it learns, the more it also grows, because we can actually program this. So the more you learn, the more wide it can be. Let's say that you teach the machine this, right? But the machine will not understand this. It will understand the motion, yeah? So when you're doing this, boom, and going somewhere, the machine will maybe do like, yeah?
Yeah, because it's figuring patterns, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like extrapolating movement. Yeah, you give it one movement, and the machine is like, what about this other thing that looks like, or it might be kind of like, yeah. So after a long time, when you use dancing, and you be like, okay, I feel not inspired today. So you watch this machine, and you press play. And this machine will create a minute, one solo round of your inspired by yourself. When you're watching this, you're getting inspired not by the machine, but by yourself and the endless possibilities that actually your body has. Yeah, and then you are getting inspired by this, so you dance, and the machine gets inspired by you, and then you get inspired by me, and it's a complete circle. What does this mean? That you don't need anybody. Yeah, which is
exactly
kind of dangerous in a way, but like you are not. When I want to dance with other people, it's because I want to just get inspired. Yeah, I wanna feel what they feel. I wanna like understand their motive, like their driving force, and it makes me happy. But with this, you don't need that. You have yourself and your endless possibilities into a phone, which is already.
Is this gonna be like an app? I'm buying that thing.
This is not used for business purposes. We don't think it's going to be that way. Like this will just be for research. If one day we decide to do this as an app, one day we decide to do this as a program, then maybe. But today this is just for research, because we are not interested in actually you getting inspired by the machine. We're interested in the philosophical meaning of this. What does it mean to get inspired by a machine when you are the one that programmed the machine? How is this artistic? How does this relate to other arts? How does this relate to the human being, to the concept of doing something? These are the questions that are being made. But this program is not to gain money,
revenue.
Made to, it's just research, artistic research.
But this is gonna take can take really far, man. Especially like we mentioned, okay, Instagram or TikTok or whatnot. And I believe you said that. I don't know exactly where I heard from that Adobe or somebody is already working with it. Yeah. So how far are we for a thing? Like, I'll just give you an example. I'll just take a picture with my whole body. I used to do animation, for example, and I know how to put bones, right? And just hit start, make the thing dance, and just make it. The target should be just make it as real as possible.
That's now.
That's now, exactly.
It's already been done, yeah. This now is like 5 years old.
So then, if I do that, for example, right? How am I supposed to because you said you dancing, because I wanted to understand this perfectly. I'm really fascinated by that thing. So you dance in front of it, right? And
Yeah,
you give it a concept. You give it a concept or a possibility of movement as
yeah.
a move. And the AI is going to show you, maybe, hopefully, places you never thought about to use that.
It will only show you one. It will not show you like a list of possibilities. It
Okay.
will only show you one. Once you press play, it will show you that one, and then you can press pause and then play again, and it will create another freestyle. The machine is freestyling.
Ah, okay. Got it. Got
So
it.
it's important. It is not creating moves because we don't believe in that. It's creating ideas for you to adapt to yourself, not copy it, but like be like, oh, I didn't thought about that. That makes me think about this. Like this
Gotcha.
thought is not I want it for myself. It's like this thought makes me think about this, which is my real idea, and then I use it. It's very important.
Man, that's amazing. I'm looking forward for you to get that, man. Yeah, I hope you. I hope you got. I know you're not that much active right now on Instagram and everything, but please share that with us when things go well.
We have a web page and everything where we are sharing what we have.
I
So
saw Inox and Veronica, something like that, right?
yeah,
Yeah, you have it in the bio, so people.
yeah, it's in my bio.
Yeah, so people can reach it. I was going. I don't know how much time you still have, and if you do have so much time, yeah, can you
Yeah,
check?
I have about 20
We
minutes.
talked. Oh my God, we talked for 1.5 hours, dude. 1 and 40. That's amazing. I wanted to ask you a little bit about, because we just stick with the dancing part a little bit. So you're in Wave Gang, for people that don't know, but I think everybody knows. Uh, do you guys have any plans for the future right now? Because I know and I've seen that the battle is getting big,
We
right?
do.
So
So basically, when we talk about me, is like Jay Smooth is the one that is bringing this forward, right? I want this to
I know
get clear. Some of
the
us
G.
don't really have much time, so he's driving the work, and we are working with him to get this. So we are now doing a World Cup kinda with pre-selections all over the world to have a world battle. But this is like now because there's no way to travel.
Waves, yeah.
In the future, we do want to do a worldwide waving competition with everybody. I mean, a big event of just waving, only waving. I was thinking about inviting sound artists that are working with water, like people who make music with water, visual artists that create projections based on fluid movement. We're thinking about creating pieces, having this competition of waving, but this will not be. I'm pretty sure if this happened, it will not be like a regular battle. This will be more like improvisation, like something like super deep shit. Now, of course, it has a winner, but I'm pretty sure it will not be like just a battle because, to be honest, battles don't fit with waving. Waving
No,
wasn't
no,
meant
that's true.
to be a battle thing. It's just too deep to that. It's too deep, and you just let it go when that happens. So there's no real way to judge it and be like super precise about it. Um, so the thing is that we have the idea of doing live things and creating a big thing like with many artists that are not connected to waving, but like for example contemporary dancers that do have this fluid motion in them. Of course, like we want to bring all that because I feel like if you move like a fluid motion, well, you are a waver, even if you don't have the foundation of waving. That's the thing.
Yeah, and that way you're expanding the style as well.
Yeah, it will happen. This will happen. We don't know
That's
when
amazing.
because we don't know the whole situation in the world. That this will
Well, I
happen.
don't know. I don't know how fast this thing is gonna end because, for example, in my country, I don't know about Spain. Did they start vaccinating people? Vaccines? Yeah. So it started. So I believe it's gonna take. I would assume a minimum of half a year, and that's what a good hopeful thought. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know.
Most scientists say we won't be clear until 2022, half 22.
Yeah, but the thing is that it's not going to be the same. we're gonna get back to a certain normality, but it's not gonna be the same, is it? I mean, things, as you said, with the technology, with this IGTV thing, this is gonna keep, this is gonna stay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, this stage of technology will stay forever. That's the thing, and that's good. It makes people
it's in
think.
progress. Yeah,
It is important to understand that not all art, and most of the times, the art that matters is not being held on Instagram because it's not the platform for that.
yeah,
It has to be remembered every day to all the people because I was reading a post by J. Smooth, and he said on Facebook that there's no talent anymore. Yeah, it's like where you're just not looking where you have to look. If you look on social media, you will find some talent,
yes,
but people who is changing the world around you, these artists, yeah, they are normally older, they're not that young. Uh, they are not on Instagram. This is why I have a webpage with Veronica, because that artistic world moves like behind what you see, This is how it
yes.
works. And for the people that ask, because I get asked these questions, is there a lot of money involved? Yes, like
Yeah, I know that.
it has a lot of money in that. Yeah,
Yes.
hard to. Yeah.
I love that you said that because like it's like you said about battles and waving. So Instagram and these things, it's like the battle time. It's a certain thing that limits you absolutely completely. So I'm curious about this, right? How would you make this then as a contest? So it would be more like a showcase, or it will be more like I don't know. You will give an idea and put everybody dance at once or something like that. How would you want to make this battle thing,
There are some
even if it's not a battle?
there's a concept that, for example, there's an event that is called Who Cut the Flower. Uh, that makes things different. They make like live improvisation with the musics. Uh, there's some judging that work differently. But for me, I think the best way would be to have like a jury, maybe like 20 judges, 10 judges, an important number of judges, because the more people experiencing waving, the more of like a good opinion we can form. And
Okay.
it will be, I think, for me, I would like to be like an open session, 8 hours long, and people dancing as much as they want, in wherever they want, doing whatever they feel like. And at the end of the day, the judges get together and be like, who we think today uh, was bringing this art form further than the rest. And that's
Yeah.
it. That's
It's
not
like this.
this is the thing. The traditions are really bad because they don't make us free to think about what would be the best way to do that.
Yeah. Is that? I think there was something kind of like that with the cipher thing. You remember? I don't know if you see this type of battles. People just, yeah,
It
judges
happened in
walking around.
Spain, in the UK. I had some of those battles. Yeah, people just battle in the circle in the cipher, or they just go rounds. At the end of the day, they just decide who was the favorite. That's it. But
Yeah, but
it is important that this concept, this method, is not made to tell you who is the best. It's like because we think, oh, how are you gonna do this if it's not a battle? Because we're used to select the best. We don't want to select the best. We want to select who is bringing this art form forward. So we can have two winners. We can have three winners. Well, we have to have one. This is art
yeah.
because tradition. Because there has to be one.
How are you gonna manage so many judges, for example? Because when you said 10 judges, that gave me a question in my head. Actually, it's hard with three. It's
Why is it
uh,
hard?
well, it's most people would.
Do this, but
Yeah, yeah.
they don't have to do that. They just
Most
have to
people would.
write. Let's say, for example, let's say 10 judges. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's happening, and the judges, they write throughout the day their notes, what they're thinking in this moment, who they think is pushing this forward. They write like a paper, then we all read it, and we get into if I'm the judge, if not, of course not, but they get into an agreement of who they think they deserve it deserves it, or you know several people, maybe not only one person. Because the thing is that we are so used to this, and we don't see so many other ways of judging. You know, like when you
Yeah, I
go
know.
let's say like a painting conference, yeah, and you see so many great artists of painting, and one guy wins. They're like, how did they decide that? Of course, not like this. You know, like there's
Exactly.
well, essay behind it. You know, you'd be like, you're informed. You create your own the text that that explains what are you thinking in this moment and why you think this dancer deserves this prize. Of
It's actually
course,
a good point.
because this is so in the moment.
It's
It's so childish. Like it's
yeah.
like you be like, oh, this, maybe this. Even if you
It's too
have,
general.
yes, it is
Yeah.
not artistic. It is not a grown-up thing to do. Like if you're a good judge, you will sit down. You will reflect on that art. You will be writing why or explaining on video or explaining why you think this, why this person is taking this advantage, you know? Definitely not like this. Definitely not.
Yeah. You mentioned a thing in the beginning. I think that was crucial. If you note things,
Mm.
right? If you, but most people don't really do that. You just go on basic preference, I think. But of course, I'm not trying to be an answer to the judges in general, because of course, I mean, this thing, it can be because of the pressure, as you said, right? Who was better? Now, do you know what I mean? Of course, okay, maybe that guy. I'm not sure, but
Yeah,
most of it is not. Most of it is lack of interest, lack of getting more money. Do you
yeah.
know what I mean? Yeah, and
There's a lot of interest. This is why we need, if we're gonna do this, this needs a system. This needs a way to judge that everybody understands, that everybody, how can I say, that everybody does the same way. If we're gonna do this, but then we have to be the more scientific about it as possible. The more like this has these points and this means this, and if I create a system, these numbers mean this, and this relates like this to the battle. We need that. I do have this system. Of course, it is hard to get people into thinking that they should do that.
when you judge, you have the system.
Yes, I always
How
have.
does it work?
Okay, so it's a TMC system: technique, musicality, and creativity. Basically, when I see a round, I put from 0 to 10 in technique, 0 to 10 in musicality, 0 to 10 in creativity. Technique is the how can I say, the tool to bring the concept alive. So I'm judging based on, okay, this guy wants to do that, or I think he wants to do that, and the technique he's using is not the best one to do for this. So he will get less points. That's it, all right?
Okay.
Okay, so let's say I'm watching Cresto, yeah? Let's say Cresto. And on this round, this is not the dancer's value, the round value is very important. The round value has, okay, this guy has a 7 in technique, a 7 in musicality, and 9 in creativity. Okay, so you take those numbers, you make them like plus plus, yeah? 7 plus 7 plus 9, you divide it by 2. Yeah? If you have time, if not, you just let it like that big ass number. That number stays there. Yeah. So first I want to see the technique. Okay. Is that it? Yeah. That looks like a 7. Yeah, to me. Yeah. In this context. Okay, 7. Oh, the musicality. Oh, he got this high notes. By also these melodies. Okay, that's cool. All right. This high level. Okay, let's put a 7. Oh, the creativity. I didn't expect that. I've never seen that. Oh, that is really like in the moment. Oh, he made a mistake there because he was risking thing. And if you're risking that thing, that means that's being creative. Risking is being creative. Okay, let's put a 9. And now I see, for example, let's say Slim movie, whatever, yeah? And I'm looking, okay, in this round, he has maybe 7 in technique, an 8 on musicality, and a 9 on creativity. Who wins?
Creativity. Yeah.
And who wins? Well, Slim Boogie has 1 more point, so he wins. And that
Gotcha.
is, there's
It's that
no,
simple.
there's not, I mean, there's not anything else. Like, that's it. There's nothing else. That's it.
It's that
I
simple, isn't
don't
it?
see style. I don't see foundation because foundation is tradition. I don't see attitude. I don't see that because you cannot put numbers on that. If you cannot put numbers on a certain aspect of the dance, then you take it away from the competition because that's just personal preference, and personal preference has no way into the sport, into the game.
Yeah, but the thing is, as you mentioned, you said that one of the points would be risk taking,
Yeah,
right? One of the targets of many other dancers, and we don't even have to talk dancers here, we can say in sports in general, is to go there and perform perfectly. So
yeah.
that's a thought that you can get. So for example, if I ask you, right, is this risk taking, sorry, acceptable to the point of, I don't know, falling?
Yeah, it's just taking.
If
It's
it's
just
if it
gonna
makes
take away
sense,
from the technique.
can you repeat that, please?
If you have an idea that is about going forward, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you go into that idea and you fall and you accept that fall, yeah. This is good for creativity, but of course the technique goes down because
Yes.
what you wanted to do, you were not able to because you don't have enough practice. So you get less technique. Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, good. That's a great point.
It's
Because
always like this.
I feel like it's just, this is essential, as you said, to try new things and everything. That's why people don't try, man. Trust me. I believe that's the reason. You're
what
afraid.
what what this system is good for is that it's good. I mean, this how can I say it? This system allows people to try and get more points on creativity. Yeah, on the risk of being less technical. Yeah, so there's room for everybody. I've been to, let's say, China. Yeah, and most
Yes.
people are 8 or 9 in technique, but really low on creativity.
I
So
wanted to ask. Thank you for saying this. Why? Why do you think that is?
because people have been taught to do one thing and do that right. So they practice again and again one thing. Yeah. So of course, technically, they have one simple idea and they practice it until it's, well, really hard to imagine how it will be better. So for the technique is crazy. But again, because they accepted that it has to be that way, there's no thought behind it. So there's no creativity behind it. They don't know why they're doing it. They know that they have to do it. And when you know that you have to do it, but you don't know why, then your creativity just goes down a
Yeah.
lot. So, for example, I was judging there. I was like, "Yo, the technique is crazy, but the creativity is so low. Like even I don't know, anybody from Spain could take it. But of course, they will have to also have to battle and get that technique because yeah, if you have a 9 on technique and a 5 on creativity, there's still a 9 on technique. This is
Yeah.
still weights, you know. It's not that I'm giving full on creativity. Technique, music and creativity, they have the same values. Nothing is more important than the other thing. It
So
is
how is the
it's important to practice your shit.
Yeah. So, for example, you as a judge, as you said, I see that guy, I see, or I project in my head that he's trying to do something, some concept, let's say, and based on how prepared he is to do that, I'm gonna judge him, right? What about people, and there are a lot of them that dance without this? You know what I mean? There are a lot of people that, as you said, for example, they train the shitload of technique, and they're gonna dance without an idea, really. And I'm serious about it. There are a lot of people I know for a fact that do that. I just dance. How do you judge that?
So important thing is that I don't know what's happening in their minds. When I'm
Exactly.
judging, I am understanding my condition of being an outsider to the dance. Like when you're dancing, I can judge for what I see. What I see, it will always be subjective. So you can never trust. This is very important. When I'm judging, it can be a system that is super clean, super understandable, but at the end of the day, it's me putting a number on it. It could have been
Exactly.
and not a 7. Yeah, it depends. What I think in that day, it will always have this human component. Yeah, this is very important to understand. So, can you tell me a question again? I got lost.
Yeah, so no, you started good because that's the question here. If I'm trying to give him, for example, you said maybe he has a concept. Okay, let's make a simulation. I believe that guy's trying to move like a snake. Okay, in
Yeah.
my head right now, I believe that guy's trying to move like a snake, but he's not. He's just repeating a thing that he train, right?
Okay. So here we have high technique, low
Yes,
creativity. Because
exactly.
me as a judge, being 10 years into the dance, I can recognize when one thing is a set and when it's absolutely freestyle.
That was the
Because
question.
when it's absolutely freestyle, there is no perfection. If
That
you're
was the
doing
question.
stuff for the first time ever, it will not be perfect ever, ever. It will be
Just
yes, perfect. No. So this is why you will very very rare that I can give anybody a 10. Very rare. I think I gave
yeah.
one time. I don't even know to who, but like one in my whole lifetime judging. And I had the system for years because there's
That
no
was the question. Yeah, that was the question that I was going with. How do you recognize true freestyle? I wanted to end this because this is a great. I feel like helps a lot of people. It helps me, dude. So I need to
yeah.
exchange this. How do you recognize true freestyle?
Because it's not perfect. Because you see mistakes. You see how that person wants to go one side but faces a problem and then tries to solve it. That's simple. It is very when I'm dancing, go watch all my videos. It's not perfect, nearly close to perfection, but it's creative because that's the first time I do things, and that is for me creativity. I do respect people. Don't get me wrong. I respect people who are able to go with one idea and then repeat it until it looks like what they want to or it looks perfect. But for me, I'm looking for ephemeral art. I want to create art that comes and goes, and I'm never able to get it. Yeah, I just love this thing. I just let it go. That's the beauty of my dance. And this also makes you improve because when you think about this, when you think, hey, this is a good move, I will never do it again, what happens is that your brain is always working to get more and more and more stuff and be more and more and more creative. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with less repetition, even no repetition, yes, you will get slower technique. I mean, if you want to get technique, you will be slower at getting it because it's not focused on technique or focused on that perfecting move, but you will be super free to do whatever you want in your dance. That is the
That,
thing.
it's a really creative approach, actually. I love it. But as you said in the beginning when we talked about this repetition thing, you can. So for people, I believe people should understand this. You're gonna advance, nevertheless. It doesn't matter how. As you said, for example, I want to pop like the pop in my head should look like it should be. But as
Yeah.
you said, we're gonna think and think and think. So in 5 years' time, I want it to be bigger, bigger. I'm still gonna advance.
Mm.
What I feel like after I talked to you and understood a little bit of how you approach things, and I tried them on myself. First of all, it's not gonna work for everybody. Everybody's different.
No. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, everybody's different. You can take both of the parts. For example, for me, that's how it works. I take both sides of it.
Yeah.
Right?
I know
And
really good people that take both. Like, okay, I'm creative, but I take this and I use it in a battle. It's like, fine. I mean, I'm nobody to tell you what you have to do, but I will never do that. But I respect it. It's like I'm not gonna look at you like what are you doing? No, it's like, oh, you're an artist and you create your own things and you go with those. As long as you understand that there are other ways of doing things and that you are doing what you want to do, really, not what you think, what others make you think.
yeah,
That's okay. But for me, again, I think this thought of having moves comes from places that I don't want to visit. For example, for me, this thought of having moves comes from a place of copywriting, of I have this move. I have this move, which is ego. This is my move. Okay, wait, what? Is this your move?
I see what you're getting there.
It doesn't make any sense, you know. This is my move, or I have this move which I do to perfection. What is perfection? You're trying to reach something you've never thought about, right? I want to create this because it looks good. What it means to look good? It looks good for you, or it looks good for others. It can always look better. What are you gonna do about it? Yeah. It is very important. If you take one step towards any way of dancing, you have to dance. Yeah, you have to think about what you're dancing. A good artist is a good thinker, really. This is very important. So it's like, right, you can take one move and be like, that's your move. Why do you want one move in the first place? Why? Did you ever think about it? Why you want it? Is it gonna make you happier? I don't know. What makes me happy is progressing and loving what I do. I don't know how perfecting a move is progress because it has a limit. So you will always be facing a wall, you know, breaking and facing another wall. But if you understand that there is no wall, what makes you happy is just moving and loving things and letting them go. It's like a comet in the sky that goes one time in your whole lifetime. Then you start to appreciate life. You start to appreciate dance. That's a thing that is ephemeral. That once it's done, it's gone. You either love the moment, understand the moment, or you just lose it forever.
I feel like that's a process of understanding yourself on all aspects of your physical being, isn't it? In time, once you accept that.
For example, Veronica think that is really Zen, like Zen, you know, like this Asian way of thinking, like appreciating the little things. I don't have really that connection to the Asian people.
Yeah.
I do feel like doing one thing and this is gone forever is more beautiful than having one thing and possessing it, you know, having it. Because this doesn't bring me any happiness. What's giving me happiness is watching that, be like, all right, now it's gone. That was beautiful, and that's it. I don't have to have it. I don't have to have it to think that was beautiful. I don't have to have it to feel good about it. That's super important.
It keeps you going like crazy. Man, I love that. Thanks for sharing this with us, man.
Do that. Then you start appreciating everything. You do, boom, boom, boom. You never repeat it again. That was beautiful. That's it. You start appreciating things. Of course, the more you move, and the more way you move, the more technique you will get. For me, technique is secondary because it comes with movement. It doesn't matter what you do, the technique will catch up to the thoughts. Yeah.
To the intention, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great process, you know.
Me,
thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. This is free private classes, bitches. Man, we already reached 2 hours, but I was expecting that. I was planning to talk all night with you, really, because we are really bonded, and you know, I know who I was about to talk with. So, one thing I wanted to note and to tell you is, I want to do this again, but properly when this shit ends. You know what I mean? And meet. I got the mics, I got the video cameras. We're gonna be fucking superstars. It's gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? With better audio and blah blah blah. And then you can talk each other because it's a shit thing with this Instagram. The only thing that I hate with I hate it, man. Is if you say something whilst I'm talking, it's just gonna go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It overlaps the audio. You know what I mean? And I was like, hey, can you see that again? Oh, can you see that again? And then I fuck up the flow and I'm damn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, definitely true.
Yeah, so let's hope these times, as you said, 2021, but maybe we can do this earlier, even in the pandemic. I don't know. We'll see how things goes.
Maybe.
Man, yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll see how these things go. Man, first of all, keep going what you're doing. You're doing great. I'm fucking proud of you. So just keep for that. And thank you so much for doing this, Inox.
No problem, man. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure, bro. I hope
I
you
appreciate
also
it,
on doing your stuff and always like thinking about what you're doing and like trying to live as happy as possible, man. That's the more important thing.
That's the target.
A loving life. That's the more important thing.
There's a target right now. Thanks, man. I'll see you.
You, bro. Thank you so much.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
bro. Cheers. Thank you.